concussion last Wednesday. I was out drinking with two of my buddies, both of them combat veterans, one of whom I'd known for well over a year, that the other whom was just one of his friends that I met that night, and we got chatting and shit face having a conversation. But we were talking about my podcast that people have had on veterans, and the statistics that the 22 a day, right? 22 suicides from veterans a day, and he was kind of saying to me in blunt terms that the way only like a combat veteran could was like, look, I came home and there's one of two paths. It was going to be like drugs and alcohol or just suicide. And it's kind of making me, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but it's kind of making me think of what you said, the Malthusian mind virus. And he was like, I moved home in like 2012. And he's like, I've decided that I went to combat at when I was 18 and came back at 22. And he's like, I went in, a rough, tough, like kill a Marine. And he's like, and I did my job and I killed. And he's like, and you get good at it and you destroy. But as you get older, you start to realize like you were lied to, that like no one in Iraq hurt me. Like I don't know anyone. And he goes, now you can come home and you can say, fuck, the government lied to me. You can be a crotchety old man. He goes, you can turn to an alcoholic. You can just commit suicide and call it PTSD. And he's like, but I decided that instead of destroying, what I wanted to do was create. And he's like, so I learned woodworking. Like I learned painting. I learned,
Oh,
and he became like I want to say, I'm sure he's watching this saying, you're getting the story wrong, but like became like a
that
carpenter, like a painter, and he worked on all these like public works
that's
projects in
wonderful.
like DC. And I remember he said, he goes, if you go to Washington, DC, I thought he was going to say like, like my brothers paid for that. He goes, you can't look at the skyline and not see my love. And I was just like, Jesus. And he was doing
Wow.
construction work on a friend of mine's house. And he's like, you see all that? And he was pointing all this new woodworking above the refrigerator. He was like, I did that one yesterday. And I was like, no, you didn't. And I was like, that was a sweet story, but no, you didn't. And he showed me that like all this brand new, these like perfectly stained arches and just little things that you and I wouldn't notice, but it's like these little tiny things that make a home. He was like, I create that now. And he's like, I don't destroy anymore. All I do is create. He's like, and you can't take that from me. And
That's
that's been
amazing.
something that's been,
That's phenomenal. He should
yeah.
have like his own show, or there should
I
be
told
some
them,
kind
no,
of
I
like
got his number. I was like, you're
there
going
should
to
be a
come on the show.
podcast dedicated to reconnecting with your
Absolutely.
creativity
Yeah.
after being a destroyer. The suicide number, that 22. I
Yeah.
actually recently did some